Problem is insane. As you know, cheating is a widespread problem at universities across the country. I wondered how many of the nation's college students were cheating and who was helping them do it. Here's a hint. Millions of students are outsourcing their brains.
Look at the word, cheater. It's awful. But educators say many students would rather cheat than fail. This young woman who asked us not to use her name or university was a cheater.
And a lot of students, they feel very stressed and pressured, and they kind of get cornered and they trap themselves, or they mentally trap themselves and they feel like they have no other way out. So then they cheat.
Identify the underlying ethical.
The University of California, San Diego actually has a mandatory seminar for students who cheat. 600 took part this year. Used to be American students would pay Americans to cheat for them. Today, often unbeknownst to the American cheater, he or she is going online to outsource their brains to places as far away as Pakistan and India.
So of course that's contributing to making America and other societies dumber, quote unquote, because they're not learning how to do the work themselves and how to communicate.
One man from the Philippines who did not want to be identified says he's written dozens of term papers for American students.
It's unethical, but I come from a third world country. It's good pay. Temptation is really great.
How much did they pay you?
I got as much as $15 a page. It was a topic on state of the U.S. economy in 1950.
So I'm on this site called Best Essays, and they say right on the site, we work hard to achieve academic excellence.
And it says it's provided students with original paper since 1997. So I requested a 3-page paper on Jason Blair, the former reporter who was fired after making up stories for the New York Times. Total cost for a 3-page paper?
It's going to cost me $80.97.
Best Essay is not the only so-called internet paper mill. There are literally hundreds of them online. It's become such a problem, more than a dozen states have made such services illegal. Yet they thrive.
What these companies are doing isn't legal here, yet they survive. Why do you think that is?
Because they're not based in the United States. They're based in Ukraine. They're trying to make it appear that the company is based in the U.S., but no, it's not. They're only making it appear so that the students will sign up and place their orders.
We have absolutely no connection to this company.
Victor Huevera lives in this house in Virginia. For years, his address was listed as the home of EssayWriters.net, a site that recruits writers to write term papers. Virginia authorities tell us Huevera and his house have nothing to do with the site.
I still receive mail for them, credit card statements or invoices from people who have written for them and gotten ripped off. I have one here from Kenya.
Virginia authorities tell us there is little they can do since these paper mill sites can be headquartered in places like the Ukraine or anywhere in the world. So, as long as that word cheater continues to be okay with so many students, internet paper mills will continue to thrive, and American brains will continue to get dumber.
I called Best Essay to ask them about their service. The woman on the phone said yes, she could sell me a paper, but she could not answer questions about the company because I was a reporter. However, I did receive my 3-page essay on journalistic ethics and Jason Blair. And I sent the paper to American University professor John Watson, a journalism professor, and guess what grade he gave it?
Okay.
B+.
B+? No, an F.
Oh, because you recognized it.
No, not just because of that. He said, and I quote, "The first sentence does not express a coherent thought. Indeed, the entire essay does not show college-level organization or coherency." And as I said before, yes, he knew immediately it was not written by a student because it was written by someone, obviously, English was not their first language.
Did you get your $80.87 back?
Wow, you got ripped off.
No, no.
Read
They charged the credit card.
Read us the first sentence.
This is the first sentence on journalistic ethics, the case of Jason Blair. The media, acting as the eyes of the society, ought to practice its role with the highest journalistic ethics possible, feeding the society with information of unquestionable source to perpetuate the credibility and the moral obligation bestowed to it.
what?
Yeah, you lost me.
You know,
Get your money back.
the other interesting
Don't do it. That should be the message.
No, of course. I mean, it goes without saying, and you know, you heard, you know, the case for some of these students that say they can't take the pressure and they want to do well. But the other interesting thing is, aren't colleges and even high schools getting more savvy as well? They can actually detect if something has been culled from the internet through
Yes, they
computer
have
programs.
software that can detect essays that were written for lots of people. So one essay for a lot of students, they can check that. But an essay like this was written, this is the single essay written for a single individual, much harder to trace. If this were more well written, it would have been tougher for the professor to determine that the kid didn't write it.
Tell you, they have a much easier time in life if you actually learn this stuff than just rip it off from somebody. Carol, thanks so much.